Hello there everyone, welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name is Emily Jane. Today we find ourselves at Preston on the West Coast Main over Shap route, and we're driving the TIAY scenario 6 Charlie 20 1446 for your lane to Settlefield service. We've got the train basically in takeover mode, so I'm going to really quickly power up. And we'll get ready to start going places because it's got a green aspect, so we don't want to be beat around the bush too much because there's passenger trains that are going to be overtaking us. We are firstly being looped at Barton and Broughton loops, which are about 4 miles up the line. Total run today is only up to Carnforth, which is 27 miles, so not a particularly long drive at all today. Alrighty, let's take power and get going places. Headlights are already on, I know that. I'll actually turn my backlighting on the instruments and turn that up. And we'll initialise the radio as well. There we go, initialised. We're in zone 88 at Preston. Start speed limit is 35 until we pass the 80 board, leaving the station. And which would we go up to a 60 because these things are limited to a 60. So yes, hope you guys are doing well. It's been an interesting couple of days here in the UK, to be honest, since I've last properly recorded Route Learner. I mean, one that's going to come out in a reasonable timescale. I think, no, hang on. So for context, it's the 6th of November 2022 for me. I think it's the middle of January for you guys. How's 2023? Was 2022 better? Can I make the joke of, haha, I'm still here, you're up there? Can I make that joke? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Just hit a fuel divert there. So the power's boosted up slightly there. But what I'll do is see that 80 post and rag it. Quite a few voyages in this scenario, you'll find. Like I say, as we're opening the taps up to 60 miles an hour, our top speed on today's run. We are going up a slope here. This route has very little flat, but the West Coast, sorry, the Great Western Main Line is known as Brunel's billiard table for how flat it is. This route, there ain't a flat bit on it. This would be Brunel's roller coaster if it was built by Brunel, that is. So yeah, you can see the TIAYs with caustic soda on board, which, yeah. Apparently when I was little, I didn't understand what the word caustic meant. So, and I thought it meant it cost a lot. So I was like, oh, caustic, how much did it cost? Or, yeah, how expensive is it? Something like that. My memory of that event is I misheard. But they do look quite cool. So yeah, what's been interesting the last few days in the UK? Well, some of you will know there's been industrial action ongoing in the UK rail industry for the last 6 months as a time going to press, and of course the strikes got called off. And the amount of stuff, it was really quite a strange one, because basically I literally left work. I left work early on the Friday because I was like, I got an early finish in because I'd won the Halloween dress up competition. This is how far back this video is, by the way. This is how far back I'm recording this. Shit. So it's absolutely fine. We're at 60 actually, so I'm just going to go idle. But yeah. So I'll go idle. Don't do anything at this first signal. We basically need to pass the signal to enter Broughton and Barton at 2 and 5:25. Yep. So what I'm doing is, that was my first sort of cautionary aspect. So whilst I'm under the speed and ensure it doesn't over exceed 60, this is the second, which basically tells me I'm being signalled into a loop and not to stop. And I'm going to brake when I sight the third. And aim to pass it at 15 miles an hour. There we go. I've lost the air brakes because I was tabbed out. Wonderful. It just something's happened that basically if you spam the Q key, you can see I'm not fully depressing, you have to fully depress it to get the AWS to release. I wonder if it used to happen in AP products. I don't know if it's the way they code stuff differently. I genuinely don't know, but yeah. Great for the train to come to a stand now, and then I'll reset. You can enjoy the braking action on this. Interestingly, these don't have flats. The rear one on the rake I used for my notes, that had flats like anything. Like dunk, 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 dunk. Yeah. Well, there's actually the signal ahead of me, so I'm going to go to about 25. Well, actually 25 is my entry speed, so I'll do about 35. And then, yeah. That should have been a thing too. Yeah, so the industrial action got called off. Like I say, I'd finished work on the Friday. I'd finished early. So and I actually got on the bus, looked at my phone, and saw a tweet, breaking news, RMT industrial action cancelled, and went, what? And basically the railway delivery group. So in the UK, we do our franchising in a weird and wonderful way. So the concessions that there's, they now know, like, you know, Avanti, for example. I'm going to use Avanti as an example because that's run largely by First Group. They basically have to get approval for any costs and stuff, like pay increases, from the DFT, the Department for Transport, and the organisation that runs the railways for the DFT is known as RDG, the Railway Delivery Group. And yeah, they basically have to approve everything and all that. And they apparently sort of gave an 11th hour offer of, hey, we'll negotiate with you. So as a sign of goodwill, the unions called off the industrial action, which meant I went from a lovely long chill weekend to being back at work, and it makes me sad. Because I was meant to get Saturday and Wednesday off, but no, I had to go to work. No, to be honest, it's one of those things, like, at the end of the day, if it means progress, I'm happy. But it was just like, when you build yourself up for a lie-in and then go down the picket line, you know, you build yourself up to having a chill day, and then it's like, haha, chill day is cancelled. It's like, oh, I want a chill day, you know, and it just turns into people ringing up going, so I heard the industrial action's called off. Yeah. Well, you got, so are the trains running? No. It's just ridiculous. I've had a weekend of that. So it's Sunday night. It's the Sunday night now, so I'm back at work again tomorrow morning. And I'm not looking forward to it, but part and parcel of, you know, being adult, you get to deal with the stuff you don't like dealing with. But then I've got Tuesday off instead, and I've got some new dresses coming, so woo-woo. And then, not this weekend I'm at home, but next weekend I'm away. Weekend after that I'm away. And I've got some time off, so I've got like 6 days off work. Because I had a lot of holiday left, and I've managed to get some sort of stacked up together. You know, using it wisely, because I basically had like 4 days off. So like 4 days in, 2 days off, 2 days in, 2 days off. So just like knocked out the middle 2 days, so I'm not coming in for those days. Oh no, I've created a flat. It must be the middle one. Yep. It's this coach here, this buggy here. Has a flat on it. Hey, oh. Made me laugh, that actually. Had a customer ring up. Hi, I'm in this coach on this train. Like, I'm on this in you know, coach A on this train. got a really bad ride quality. Like, sorry, they sent it as an email. And I was like, so what do I do in this instance? I ended up ringing the service delivery team, because it was like a 2-week-old email at this point, and they went, it was 2 weeks ago. Well, it's still on the track, so it mustn't be that bad. Like, wow. Yeah, to be honest, it's one of those, like, I probably didn't need to ring them up. It's probably already been reported, but, you know. The way I was sort of brought in is you report everything, and that way, you know, if you report everything 25 times, just means that it's, you know, it's better to report something 25 times than you know, not report it 25 times, if that makes sense, because that way, you know, they never found out that that's something needed fixing. And we go as we roll to a stand in Barton and Broughton Loop. Let's try that again. Barton and Broughton Loops. So yeah, I'm just yeah. To be honest, like lately, I'm just getting a bit sad with the way the world is. But yeah, actually, I need to get some stuff sorted because I'm basically doing the Christmas videos at the moment, and my plan is to do the Christmas one for like Christmas Eve, like the 23rd to be Farm Sim, 24th to be DCS, 25th to be Farm Sim. But I just need to get them knocked out, basically. And oh, by the way, it's the 6th of November. So you know that Sexy New DLC? Yeah, that's not come out yet. Here comes a Voyager. Not sure why I'm missing a Voyager then. Interesting. Just trains. There you go. That is my response to that. So what I'm going to do is, because I know that's going to come to an end soon, I'm going to let the brake off on the train and secure us with the loco brake. So basically the brakes, there you go, because see, you just cleared to the double amber there. So I can basically use that as a way to make my pull away much quicker. There you go, so 125 passing. So basically we're not going to make it to 40 by the time the end of the train passes it, so power! And back up to 60 we go. Now bear in mind, that train is running at 125, correction 110. No, it was 125 through this section because he follows the EPS speed. So, you know, he's going to be running away from us quite substantially. But we're probably about 10 miles from Lancaster, which is where he's probably going to be stopping. There's a decent chance that he's going to be stopping. So actually, you know, although he'll make it to Lancaster in about 5 minutes, it'll take us about 10. He'll also be stopped there for 2 or 3 minutes. Plus his braking time, you know, there's a chance we'll catch him up, is basically what I'm trying to say here. So, yeah. I hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. Mine's been, like I said, my day of work was fairly stressing. Unfortunately, not as much fun as it could have been, but one of those things, innit? One of those things. Ow. Interesting, I modified the scenario, and main mod I made was that train was pulled by a different loco and it now isn't. So something didn't work in the save process. I think sometimes AP scripting gets in the way of like major edits like that, but it's a shame, because like there's times I just want to like swap a, you know, that was meant to be a 60 from the Major Wales pack, you know, and because, you know, it's a really decent quality delivery, and 60s could have run that train for all I know, but hey, it's what it is. There's 60. Car back to basically idle for now. And just watch the world coast past the window. So I actually found out after recording the TTAs that they run at 45 and in brake timings. So in goods timings, which I really should have changed 37 to, but I'm not that much of a sadomasochist, if I'm totally honest. Yeah, it's one of those sorts of trains. Luckily, obviously, I know these run at 60, so we're staying at 60 with these on the back, but look at the amount of clag and how much is being blown. It's quite a blustery day out there. Surprised the Oli isn't moving a bit. Oh wait, it's West Coast OLE. It's built properly. Lol. Sorry, I rip on East Coast overhead lines quite a lot because they're pretty unreliable. There's not so much in the winter, but in this, I think the UK Railway can deal with cold pretty well. It's heat it don't deal with. I also find it really great that Alexander Commission, who is basically the head of the Ukrainian railways, turned around after there was you must follow Network Rail on Twitter, but there was a bridge strike. And it was like, hey, I've got a bunch of bridge engineers who are really good. We want to give back. And I'm like, Jesus, mate. Like, all we need, once the war's over, there'll be a couple of military surplus helicopters kicking about, fit some big speakers to it, so you can basically play the A-Team theme tune, and then just like, is your bridge damaged and you need help? After the war in Ukraine. No. No, I completely butchered that, hang on. What I'm after is... There we go. In 2022, a crack bridge building unit finished a war in Ukraine, started by a despotic regime. These men promptly found a calling in bridge repair. And went, fuck. The actual script is, in 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they have sold us a fortune. If you have a bridge strike and no one else can help, if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. Cue bridge engineers parachuting out the back of the hind, probably, because hinds are nice and fast. Yeah, that's what I've got in my head right now. Make it happen, Mr. Commission. Make it happen. Sorry, I'm a child. A child who likes trains. That makes it even more of a thing. So I have actually upgraded the model train collection. Hopefully, though, by now you will have seen that. I bought one of the new Bachmann 47s. And I'm basically waiting for my for Helgen to release their new 57s, because I've got the Northern Belle coaches and 57 from Hornby, but as we know, the 57 Hornby used is a 47, and I'm trusting Helgen will be a bit better than freaking Hornby in this situation. Seeing as they're doing quite a few 57.6s, I'm presuming it'll actually have the correct headlight setup for Windsor Castle, which is 57.6. Sorry, nerding out. Yeah, aside from that, like I say, nothing much exciting to talk about. So hopefully, in circa 16 hours, or 17 hours, 17 hours from now, I'll be, well, someone went to Disney cosplaying as Walt Disney, and Mickey's just giving a big hug. Like, oh, cute. But yeah, sorry, as I was saying, I'll be finished work for 48 hours. Because actually, I don't book on till 2 o'clock on Wednesday. I finish at 4 o'clock on Monday. So it's almost 48 hours. And it's going to be blissful peace. So I'm just tired, to be honest. Yesterday was absolutely chaotic. Today, less so, but still pretty bad. And the job's not getting easier is the problem, I think. The job ain't getting easier. Oh, I bought the new seasonal Starbucks mugs. I didn't get like the plastic one because honestly it seemed crap. It's just red. Like, red Solo Cup, anyone? Red Solo Cup is the best receptacle for barbecues, tailgates, fairs and festivals. You certainly have a pair of testicles. If you prefer drinking from glass. Shit, I can't do the accent anymore. But I also bought a glass head. Cup head. So basically, you know, in a Starbucks plastic cup, because I've got the Halloween one on my desk, I'm looking at it right now. Like a little drinking hole in it. What you do is you just put it in there, and it stops your heat escaping, and it's like a little siren's tail, so it's like the Starbucks thing, which is quite cool. I got my friend one for Christmas as well. Don't worry, I've got a lot more than that, but she's the person who got me into Starbucks. You know, fuck, I can talk about it actually, because it's going to go out after Christmas. My friend Harmony got me into Starbucks, and I really like Starbucks cups. So I got a Newcastle cup and a Spooky Halloween one because she's gothy and she likes spooky Halloween stuff. And I'm like, you will prefer the Spooky Halloween one to the Christmas one. I know that much about you. I'll just get you the Spooky Halloween one, you know. Although I do have the Christmas one, and it's the Christmassy cup. So it's sort of green, red, and white with like splotchy paint on it. You'll probably have seen it by now. You can go Google it. But I've got that, and I've got the thermal version as well. But they've both got metal linings, so like you can have a hot drink in them without burning your hands off, which is quite handy. To be honest, I think now that I'm actually driving probably a little bit more conservatively than I was before, I think we're probably not going to catch up the adverse signals, but you never know. Just peeking around that curve, looking out for any adverse signals. We are getting closer and closer to Preston. I don't know why I've got Alan Rickey in my head again, but yeah, it's one of those. I'm definitely sort of, I think, waiting for my day off. Like I say, it's a dress day, which is going to be really cool. So I've got my I've got some new Angel Secret dresses. So I've bought one Angel Secret dress already. I've got 4 more on the way. The taxman is going to freaking love me. It's going to tear a new one in my pop-pop, and it's going to hurt, but you know, yeah, and we'll go from there. But no, it's going to be. So I've got 2 new aerial dresses coming, teal and pink, and also a new yellow bell, which is sort of more to my current shape than my original bell dress. The original bell dress was a little bit too long, and I've just never been 100% happy with it. It looks nice, but I've just never been 100%, you know. Yeah, I've never been 100% now. Never been 100%, but I've now got, like I say, new one of those and a peasant bell, because I've not actually done peasant bell before. So, because I've already got Christmas bell from Angel Secret. That's the first Angel Secret dress I got, and they work to a really good standard. So I'm excited to get that. If you want to see unboxing videos of those dresses, go to Emily Jane the Costume Queen on YouTube, and I'll be posting updates there and unboxing videos there. Because I always tend to post like, I got a thing, and a picture of a box balanced on my head. What have I unboxed on the channel so far? I don't think I actually did the box balanced on my head for most of these videos, but let's have a little look-see. I got the... I think I did that for... So to be honest, the Elphaba cosplay is just picture the box on my new little M logo. The hippo is me, you know, it's still me unboxing it. Same for blue, but it just sort of shows it a bit more than just a box, because unless you already follow me, you don't really want to do that. So yeah, and then that's it. I've not done that many like videos for that channel, and it's gone really well. Like literally everything's got more than 10 views, except like one niche video I did. Yes, I did one which was a cow video, which was like just a short of some cows like trotting across a road basically, which got 9 views. But everything else has got like at least sort of 10-20 views, which, you know, for a small like channel like mine, I just think that's really cool that, you know, yeah, so the broomstick got 16, that's the second lowest, because no one's taught me to unbox a broomstick apparently, even though I'm playing it like an electric guitar in the thumbnail. Like, come on guys, what more do you want from me? I can't be any cooler than that, it's not possible. Me doing the Chubby Bunny challenge, right, which is probably the least relevant challenge on YouTube in 2022, got 109 views. How the frick? And also trying blue on and unboxing blue, 527 views. Suiting up as blue, which is a really cute thumbnail, 91 views. It's, yeah, doing Alphaba, I did a short video which I should actually post to YouTube as well. I think that doesn't include my shorts, does it? My shorts go absolutely crazy, some of them. So, Degrunification, 65 views. Clown Twirl, 1.2k. Clown Fall, 51. My clown nose, it's stuck, 63. Mascot jump, like 2 boomerangs, me jumping and blinking, 3.8 and 2.4k views respectively. A comment response that I did, which broke, 50. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. So I'm doing some more clown stuff, hopefully tomorrow, which should be like some story time as a clown. So I feel like that's the channel to upload that to, because I don't swear on that channel. Obviously, you know, very sort of prim and proper in how I do things. We're going quite fast, aren't we? Even at 60. 60 feels like you're barely moving. And I'm struggling for stuff to speak about. Hang on, how far have we got left? 8.4 miles. Cool. Look at that smoke just come pouring out the top of the train. Looks like one of fire. You think though? This is a really claggy train. Like this is the claggiest train I can probably think of. You know, at idle. If you took enough lorries to transport, I think these are 100-ton wagons, aren't they? Yeah. I think, you know, 78-ton as a payload. So 75 warning, double ambers. So I'll just go straight off the power. I'll just put a jabber brake on, just slow us down. It's basically the state that we'd be coming to a stand at the end of Preston. So we'll just use minimum brake application. Just tell the train to think about slowing down, and then go from there. Yeah. So we'll just let that speed wash right the way back. Bring this train to a stand. So double amber, single amber next. See, this is a time if you're driving that you sort of do sterile driving rules. 100% attention on what's coming around that curve at me. But I'm like, fuck it. Can't be arsed. Now, if I see single amber next, that means I'm at a red at the end of Lancaster Station. holding that in my head whilst I'm on the coming down the approaches here. Like I say, 40 is definitely sort of fast enough in this segment. So I'm just, you know, I'd lean around the windscreen wiper if I was driving in real life. Yeah, single amber. Single amber, red ahead. So it's starting to step that brake application up now. Get us right down to sort of 10-15. Like I say, I mean, you know, you can see where we are. It's literally the signal's the other side of the platforms, so I'm not worried. But I'm just putting a sharpish brake on just to make sure I definitely get slowed down in time. Put it down to say 20, and then just go idle from there. So maybe 15 would actually be a really good approach pace. So 15, brake off. So we're just coming nice and slow, in a position where, you know, there's not going to be any, you know, any risk of the red catching us out here. Ideally, in fact, it'll change by the time we get there, because we approach really cautiously. So, you know, that way we won't have to stop, and we'll save a bit of petrol, or diesel in this instance. I'm hoping there's going to be some newer 37s actually coming out in double O gauge thing, because the Kira scale done a lot of sort of BR era stuff, but I'm really looking for some DRS 37s, because I bought a hat with railhead treatment train in double O gauge, and I've realised I've got nothing to pull it with. Like, I either need a Freightliner 66, which, I mean, they do work that, because I've got a Bachmann 66, which is a really nice model actually. Bachmann do some really great work. Like, there's the sort of stuff I have, I would sort of classify. I've got some Hornby stuff. Hornby's really hit or miss. They do some absolutely charming models, like the 800. The 800 are spot on. Character, everything. I've not run it yet, but character-wise, you know, you look at it. It's an 800. You peek into the cab, you can see the instruments are there. Brilliant. The mechanism is never as good on I find on a Hornby as it is on a Bachmann. But then you get some stuff like I said, the Northern Belle 57, right? It's a train for the collector. Well, you know what a collector will be able to recognise? The difference between a class 47 and a class 57. But Hornby didn't think that was important enough. If you need to, just stick a pair of, stick a WCRC 47 on the front of it. Bosh. But don't make it out to be something that it isn't. And I find it quite inappropriate that if you get the box out of the 57, like you look at the box, it doesn't. There's none on the promotional images. Show the front of the train. It's a little bit sketchy if you ask me there, Hornby. A little bit sketchy. But that's just me. We are accelerating into the single amber just because we know the train in theory is accelerated, but actually it does raise a really good point. I shouldn't go too hard. As we leave Lancaster. No idea what that river's called. I'll have a little look and find out for you. Lancaster. 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 The river that runs through Lancaster is the River Lun. And it comes out at a place called Sunderland. Yeah, we are very nearly at Carnforth now. Carnforth is sort of, is the main thing I think anyone would know Carnforth for, green aspect, full power. The main thing I think anyone would know Carnforth for is Carnforth Steam Town. That's probably the main thing for there at the moment is, that sort of WCRC presence. Yeah, that's, like I said, that's the thing with Hornby. It's like you either get some cracking models, which is 91's another really good example of a great model. To a lesser extent, the 156, I just feel like it has some holes. Like it could redo the detailing pack of ploughs at the front. That would make that a complete model for me. What else? I'm just looking up at my model stack to refresh myself. Yeah, Helgen, again, looks really good. The mechanism some, you know, but hopefully Helge, like I said, the 57 should be a good run. So you know, always give them the benefit of the doubt. And then Hattons, like I say, they do some really good looking stuff. I've not actually got one of those 66. That could be my solution to an affordable DCC fitted 66 mile railhead treatment train. We'll see. I've also got a Bachmann 47, which I really want to get out. I've not at the moment because I'm really struggling with keeping my room tidy. I'll be totally honest. You know, mental health has been kicking my butt a lot lately, and I'm just struggling with housework. I used to hide it, used to minimise stuff like that, but now I'm like, no, this is just the reality of being me right now. You know, I don't have the space to set a layout of my room right now. I'm hoping to do one over Christmas and hoping to live stream that by now, hopefully. But yeah, like I say, I'm sort of looking up at my models, just seeing what I've not talked about. So I've got the obligatory Scotsman. Who doesn't have a Scotsman? Am I right, home viewers? We've got a rocket as well. Like, that's a really good example, actually. The Hornby rocket. What a smashing little model, right? What a smashing model. But then, you know, they dropped some clangers. Like I said, like the 47. You know, the Rolling Troops Squad, the 47 is in place for 57. We've got Dapol 68. Dapol, actually, again, can be a bit hit or miss, but their 68s are absolutely smashing. First thing I DCC fitted by myself as well. I had the guy in the... I shop at Pooley's Puffers on Teesside, sorry, in Newcastle, not on Teesside. It's not even in Newcastle, technically it's in Gateshead. It's as far south as you can get in Gateshead. And he sort of said to me, look, if you can't figure out this DCC fitting, like, you know, basically, you'll be able to do this one, no problem. This is Hest Bank, by the way, that we're going up now. You know, you'll be able to figure this out, no problem. If you can't, you want a shot in the head. And to be honest, once I figured out I needed shims to keep the pins out, which I know is an absolute rookie move, I was like, you know, got some cardboard, just use that to basically shim the pins from going back in. Had it off, no problem. Didn't realise how much force you needed actually to get the pin on, like the chip on, because I didn't want to put too much pressure on and break it, but got it on in the end, absolutely fine. But it's, yeah, can't recommend it enough if you're in the northeast. Pooley's Puffers, Team Valley. I just put them into any sat nav and they come up, and it's a really good little shop. And I find, you know, at the end of the day, I'd like to think myself a pretty good customer to them at this point. But you know, the willingness to try and help, you know, they can't like he's ex-railway, and you know, we had it, you know, I said, look, do you think that you know, because there's the Northern Bell, there's the loco, and there's also the coach fan, and you know, I said, do you think you could get your hands on the coaches for me? He said, you know, they're like rocking horse dust, but I'll see. So we'll see. But you know, and that's the way I sort of look at it. Is you know, I'm one of those people that I don't like it when people do nice things for me, but at the same time, I appreciate it. Well, it's not that I don't like it, it's just I struggle to accept that I actually deserve stuff, you know? But yeah, like, I literally spent £1,000 in there the other day. I bought a Bachmann 47, my Zoomer, and a load of chips, and it was like £1,001. I was like, just say it quickly. Don't say it too loud. Say it quickly. So we're slowing down to 15 miles an hour. Actually, we're well slow at this point, so I'm just going to stay off the brake. As you can see, that next signal ahead, so it won't drop down to 15 miles. We're in a really good place for that, so I'm just going to roll in at this stage. We're probably going to delay a train behind us, but I don't really care at this point. We are getting relieved at Carnforth. So I think we get stabled here for a while. We get held here for a while. Then, like I say, the train goes on, but we don't go with it. We are getting in a taxi back up to Carlisle because that is our home depot. I wish DRS, like, I wish there was more of a freight presence on the East Coast actually, because I know like if you look at someone like DRS, as much as they in theory have a depot in York, there are two main depots: Crewe and Carlisle. Arguably, you know, Crewe's a massive railway hub, and Carlisle is probably the nearest big railway hub to Sellafield, which is where the it's DRS is owned by the Nuclear Decommissioning Organisation, or the Nuclear Fuels, I think they're called. They're like basically DRS's sort of bread and butter was taking nuclear fuel from decommissioned nuclear power stations to Sellafield. So it makes sense to have the hub in Carlisle. But I wish there was more of an East Coast freight presence. There is so little freight that goes north of pretty much the Tyne. It's really sad. And, if you look at the freight that's scheduled to go every day through Carlisle, right? I'm not going to do the next couple of days because that's sort of messed up. But if I look in the future, 22nd 11, you look on real-time trains, do all day, and then search for services that pass only. There are literally maybe 30, 40. Do that at Newcastle. There is maybe 15, and it's really noticeable. And whilst I'm broadly supportive of HS2, I also think there's a lot of sort of low-hanging fruit that could be, there's a lot of people who are very anti-HS2 and not really objective about it. There's a lot of people who are very pro-HS2 and not very objective about it. Do I think high-speed rail is a good thing? Yes. Do I think high-speed rail between London and Birmingham is a good thing? No. It knocks about 10 minutes off the journey time. Imagine HS2 being Liverpool to York, or Liverpool to Newcastle. That would have revolutionised the Transpennine run and really done a lot for Northern Powerhouse. That thing that there's not much point to anymore. Because hashtag politics. But that's the way I sort of look at it. But overall, like I say, and it's the main issue that why freight doesn't generally tend to end up going north of Newcastle is the goods loops aren't big enough. An average freight train's about 560 metres long. Most of the goods loops aren't long enough to take trains, so you end up, because it's obviously very busy passenger-wise. So you've got cross country, LNER, Lumo now, and Transpennine. Yes, that's what I call them now because their cancellation rate is astronomical. But yeah, train coming. What I'll do is just put a bit of brake on, so we just draw to a stand here. I'm going to blow that up, do that, do that, do that, and we can hop out. So, wrong button. Sure. Please. There we go. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe to see more from me on a semi-regular basis. Good work, and the driver is here to relieve you for the journey along the Cumbrian coast to Sellafield. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.